My name is Professor Ashley Lucas, and I lead one of the coolest exchange programs on the University of Michigan campus. I'm the director of a program called the Prison Creative Arts Project, and we do weekly workshops in Michigan prisons in many different art forms. But our exchange trip is specifically about theater. So we go to Brazil for 3 weeks and do theater in prisons, hospitals, and favelas and on university campuses. So in order to take this trip, you need to first take my theater and incarceration course, which happens every winter semester. If you don't take that class, you cannot go to Brazil. As part of that class, you will facilitate a theater workshop in an adult or youth correctional center here in Michigan. And that's really important because when we go to Brazil, it's a true exchange. We're both learning how our friends in Brazil do theater in prisons, and we're teaching them how we do theater in prisons here in the United States. So it's a really meaningful exchange in that we get to know the other people really well. So here's what happens when you go to Brazil. We go to 2 different cities. First to Florianopolis, which is a beautiful city on an island off the southern coast of Brazil, and then to Rio de Janeiro, which is a very big, great, beautiful city. And in both of those places, there are university theater programs that do the same thing that we do. They go to prison every week to take theater programming inside the walls with university faculty and students. So when we're there, we take their classes on campus to learn how they get ready to go into prison, and then we go into the prisons with them. In Rio, there are also programs that do theater extension projects in a community of elderly folks, in favelas with children and adults. Favelas are struggling neighborhoods in Rio de Janeiro. And then we also go into public hospitals and do theater programming there too. So it's a very busy trip. We spend a lot of time on our feet. We spend a lot of time doing active theater. So if theater is intimidating to you, that's okay. We'll teach you as much theater as you need to know, but you need to be very willing to go with the flow and to know that it's going to be all theater all day long for 3 weeks. Now, this program does happen in a country where they speak Portuguese instead of English. So it is not a program that is made for you to teach you Portuguese. You don't have to be able to speak Portuguese in advance, though I do recommend that you start practicing right now. There's a wonderful website called duolingo.com that will offer you free language learning lessons and games to help get you started. So if you know some Portuguese when you go, you're going to be so much happier when we're there than if you don't try at all. And if you already speak Portuguese, good for you. We are going to have so much fun. Please take this trip. So when we are there, we largely communicate through the language of theater, because when we play games and do exercises together with the theater, we don't all have to be able to speak the same language, and it's okay. Now, you know that you need to take the class, the theater and incarceration course, but you also need to do an application online through the Center for Global and Intercultural Studies. That's CGIS or CGIS. The application is usually due in mid-December, and if you miss the deadline, I cannot help you. You absolutely cannot take this trip. Please complete the application on time. There is a course fee that comes with it, and you will be asked to pay your travel to Brazil and for the visa that you'll need to enter Brazil. Financial aid is available for those who qualify, but I know nothing about it. You need to ask the financial aid office and the people at CGIS about that. There's another video here on our PCAP website that will tell you about all the fabulous things we do while we're in Brazil. I highly recommend that you watch it. And please keep in mind that not everybody who applies gets to go to Brazil because we have limited space on the trip. So if you don't get to go this year, please apply again next year, because I would love to show you the beautiful nation of Brazil that I have fallen in love with.